Hello all, welcome to the video on window functions in SQL. Now, window functions are special SQL functions that perform calculations across a set of rows that are related to the current row. This set of rows is called a window. Now, we have seen calculations across a set of rows in group by, but the problem with group by is it collapses all the rows. For example, we calculate the sum or average or count of a set of rows, but all the rows are aggregated or collapsed in group by. Whereas in window functions, there is no collapsing. Every row will be there in the output. We use these window functions for calculating the running totals, moving averages, rankings, and so on. Now we have different types of window functions like aggregate functions or ranking functions, or functions based on value. The aggregate functions are average, max, min, sum, count. Ranking functions are row number, rank, dense rank, percent rank, and NTILE. And functions based on value are lag, lead, first value, last value, nth value. Well, this is the syntax for window function. Function name over partition by, we can give the names of the columns here, order by, again the names of the columns. So the function name is where we give the name of the functions. Any type of function like aggregate or ranking or value based can be given here. Next we have over keyword, which is where we are defining the window. And how we are defining the window is given by the partition by and order by clauses. Partition by splits the data into groups or windows for the function to operate within. We can partition data by one or more columns. And finally, we give how the order of the final output should be by using order by clause. Now let's look at some examples. We'll look at some ranking window functions now. I'll be using employees table from the SQL practice database in my local MySQL Workbench. If you want to download the MySQL Workbench or the databases which I am working to practice hands-on, you could watch my previous videos on this. I'll provide a link in the description. Now coming to the employees table, which we have here, we have the employee ID, first name, last name, email, phone number, hire date, job ID, salary, commission percentage, manager ID, and department ID columns. These are the sample records of the table. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll apply a window function, row number. Now what row number does is it assigns a unique sequential number to each row in the partition. The syntax is row number over partition by column name, order by column name. Now I want to partition the employees by department and rank the employees based on their salary, with the highest salary receiving row number 1. To get this result, we have to use a window function. So first I'm selecting all the columns I require in the result set, the employee ID, first name, last name, department ID, salary, and a window function. Row number over partition by department ID. Now order by salary, and the highest salary receiving row number means I have to get it in descending order, and the entire window function I alias it as row number. Where am I selecting this from? I'm selecting this from employees table. Let's get the result. Okay, so the result we got is the employee ID, first name, last name, department ID, salary, and row number. So all the department IDs 10 are grouped together and is given a unique row number, and all the department IDs with 20 are given a unique number, again starting from 1, And similarly for department 30, a unique row number is assigned. This is what is done by the row number window function. Next, we are going to look at rank window function. So the basic difference between row number and rank is both are similar, except that row number assigns a unique number to each row irrespective of whether the rows are having the same values or not in the order by clause. But the rank function assigns the same rank if two rows have the same values in the order by clause. That's the basic difference. For example, if you look at the result set of the previous question, these two rows with employee IDs 1019 and 1025 have the same salary, but the row numbers are 5 and 6, which are different. If we use rank, we get the row numbers as 5 and 5. Let's look at it practically. So I'm changing the SQL syntax to rank instead of row number and executing the same query. So now if you go to the department ID 20 and look at these two rows 1019 and 1025, now they have the same number as rank. And one more thing you could see here is the next rank is skipped. I mean, if two rows have the same rank, then the next rank will be skipped. If three rows have the same rank, then the next two ranks will be skipped. That's why we don't have 6 here. Now, this skipping of ranks can be overcome by using the dense rank window function. So the dense rank is similar to rank, but without skipping the ranks if there are any ties in the result set. So now I'm changing the query to dense rank. We'll call it salary rank. And if we execute the query and go to the department ID 20 to look at the result set, now the two rows have the same rank, but the next rank is 6 instead of 7. So that's the basic difference between rank and dense rank. Next, we are going to look at the %rank function. So what %rank does is it calculates the relative rank of a row as a percentage of the total number of rows in the partition. And that is expressed in 0 to 1 scale. In this example, I'm changing the dense rank to %rank. I'm rounding it off to 2 decimals and calling it salary %rank and run the query. So we could see the salary %rank for department ID 10 is expressed between 0 and 1. This is what is done by %rank window function. The last window function we are going to look in this video is NTILE. So NTILE N function divides the rows into n equal buckets and assigns each row to one of those buckets. We should define the value of n. For example, if you define n is 4, then we'll get the quartiles in that partition. So in this example, I'm replacing this %rank with NTILE, and I'm giving the n value as 4, and let's call this salary quartile. And if we run this, what we're going to get is for department ID 10, all the rows in this particular department are divided into 4 equal buckets, and in each bucket the rows are assigned. Similarly, for department ID 20, the partition is divided into 4 equal parts, and each row is given the specific quartile number. Similarly for department 30 and so on. So these are all the ranking window functions we can use in SQL. In the next video, we'll look at the aggregate window functions and value-based window functions. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching.